Okay, this was just announced this morning. This is a 90-day transformation challenge that you can participate in. You can get all the details at ASEA90.com. I want to thank Brad Fagerstrom out there and Brad Mary for providing this information. They're tuned in and very excited about the potential of this 90-day training course. There was a beta test and the group got phenomenal results. And so go to ASEA90.com. It'll allow you to get plugged in, track your results, and have coaching along the way in your process. And a lot of folks, you know, it really is helpful for them to have that little extra bit of connection and push as they go through their journey here. Okay, so let's go ahead now and jump right into the training. Welcome, everybody. My name is Paul Tyra, and for the next 90 minutes approximately, I'm going to be your host on building a successful ASEA business. This is designed for new associates. However, we do frequently get associates that have been with us for a while as a refresher, and I would encourage you to, you know, maybe once a month or once every couple of months, replug in. There's going to be new information, and especially as we go forward here, we've got some new platforms being released, that we've been alpha testing, and we're rather in the alpha phase testing of it now. And so by convention, they'll be officially released to the general population there of ASEA associates. So exciting times right now. Also other enhancements, things continue to get involved, improve, and be enhanced. So this is where we provide those types of updates. All right. Let me go ahead and jump right into the training. Let's talk about the first step. Now, currently, we have a platform called 3minutepeak.com. You can go there to the number 3, the word minute, and then peek.com. And when you go there, you can click on Get Your Site. The first month is free. Subsequent months are just $9.95. If you pay for it in bulk, you can get a deeper discount. But I'm going to encourage you not to do that, because we are going to be rolling in this technology. The next generation of this platform is being implemented by ASEA Corporate, and it is a completely different ball game. Okay, it's going to have this times 10. These are a lot of features that we were really pushing for as we were initially developing this platform, and corporate finally saw the light and agreed. And so all of the great feature sets for the next generation and more are going to be applied, new learning technologies, etc. So, but this can get you familiar with the process of duplication. And so for those of you, we'd encourage you to take advantage of that and start understanding how to put people through a process. You want to be the message and not, you want to be the messenger and not the message. Okay, it's not about what you do, it's about what you duplicate. So I know a lot of you get excited about ASEA and want to tell everyone you know about how much you've learned about mitochondria and molecules and all that. But to be quite honest, most people are going to feel that's too complicated and that they can't do that themselves. But for someone to say, look, I can send an email, I can email someone a video clip, they start to think, man, I can do that. He just sent me this video. And then when I asked this question, he sent me a document. Okay, that's duplicable, and that's what the design is of the duplication system. Okay, so you can go there, check it out. The first step in the process is to get educated. You'll go through 10 little training modules that will get you in the proper mindset, skill set, and create the will set for you, because as you go out there, some of you have already been experiencing, there's a lot of negative people out there, right? Even a lot of people you may have known your whole life, your friends and family. We actually have a saying in our industry, and that's never sell yourself short. Let your friends and family do it for you. Okay, so by watching these video clips, you're going to understand that, hey, every successful person had to go through this process of the naysayers, if you will, people telling you can't do something, right? And like my friend Les Brown says, if you buy the opinions of others, you buy their lifestyle. Okay, think about that. If you are listening to people who aren't creating success, who aren't happy with their life, if you're going to choose to let them tell you how to be successful, you're going to get what they're getting. So if you want something different, you've got to listen to successful people, and that's what this is going to provide you. Okay, how to think like someone who's ultra successful. I don't just mean financially successful, but someone who's able to own and control their life. Someone who's able to be happy, literally. How do they think? Why are they like that? A lot of people say, well, they're just lucky. No, okay? They just think differently than people who are not happy. Okay? And unfortunately, it's easier to do what everyone else is doing. But again, if you're here and you're building in a sea of business, my hope for you is that you come to the realization and that you don't have to settle for what everyone else is getting, but you do have to change the way you think, and that is the goal of this, one of the goals of this platform, as well as providing you with the actual skill set and tools that you need to make that happen. Okay, so you'll go through that process, and so now once we understand that, we know how to use the platform, we'll learn how to input our prospects into the platform so we can send them the video clips, documentation, schedule follow-up calls, all that good stuff. The next thing is okay, who are we looking for? Who are the best type of a prospect to create the greatest amount of success? And I'm going to share with you these two types of people. Okay, the first type is people, or are people rather, that are successful. And I don't mean just in network marketing specifically, in whatever they do. Success tends to breed success. So go out there and look for successful people, and also people who are hungry. All right? You want to look for people that are hungry, meaning that they are willing to do whatever it takes to create a better lifestyle for them and their family. They're not someone who will just kick the tire. Oh yeah, I'll just kind of dabble in it, and if it does something, then I'll think about doing it more. No, these are people who are, man, what do I need to do? Tell me how to do it, and I'm going to run with this, and I'll do 10 times that amount. That's someone who would be reflective of being hungry. Okay. So let's talk first about looking for successful people, and what is the most common reason I see in our industry for people failing. Okay, because most people only look for people to talk to that are less successful than they are. Think about that, right? You're like, well, how can I talk to someone who's more successful? Why would they listen to me? I haven't achieved their level of success, so they only look for people less successful than them. Well, here's a problem with that. Okay, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, you consider yourself to be an 8. Now, the scale I'm referring to is based on the level of success you've created, your communication skills, your circle or network of friends that you hang around with. Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, you consider yourself to be an 8. Most people will only want to talk to people who are 7s, 6s, and 5s, for example. People who have created and achieved a less level of success than they have, because they feel, oh, they'll look up to me and they'll find me credible, and therefore they'll want to start their business. Okay, and that's okay. But here's the problem: is most people, that's all they focus on. So what do you think happens with someone here who's a 5 on this, as you see on screen? They're going to go look for 4s, 3s, and 2s, right? Can you see where this is going? Next thing you know, the 2s are looking for 1s and 0s, going up on the street corner, asking a homeless person, hey, you got $400 to start a new business? And how well you think that's going to work out, right? As a matter of fact, once you get below the 5 line there, okay, these people tend to want to complain about any little thing. They are looking more for excuses to fail than they are at ways of succeeding. That's the masses out there, right? Always looking to blame something else, always looking to say this is the reason why I can't succeed, right? Rather than looking for all of the successful type behaviors that they can be doing to create success. Now here's the biggest problem, is guess who they're going to call when they start developing their excuses? They're going to call you, right? The 8. And because you're an 8, you're going to take some of those arrows and you're going to help, people, and sometimes these, you may do things for other people, which is not good as well. You're like enabling them. So, but here's what the bottom line is. After a certain period of time, you're going to feel like an underpaid babysitter. Any of you out there can relate to that, right? You're spending most of your time, okay, listening to people cry and whine about stuff that really does not have an impact on their ability to create success with the business. It's just that's all they're going to want to talk about. And that's going to take time away from you looking for the right type of prospect. Okay? So how do we remedy this? We sponsor up. So let's go back to this example of you being an 8. We talk about going after the Oprah Winfreys out there, right? Why Oprah Winfrey? Because when she talks, people listen. I would say E.F. Hutton, for those of you who remember those commercials back in the day, but that would date me, so I'm not going to use that reference. But basically, when Oprah speaks, as we know, everyone goes out and does that. So someone with high credibility, high influence. So let's say you're an 8 and you go out and sign up a 9. Guess what the 9 will do? They go out and enroll 10s. Keep this trend of an upward trend. And here's the beauty of it. Are these 9s and 10s the kind of people that are going to complain about, oh, my product got here a day late? I don't know. That's really not good. Is this company going to make it? You know what? I had to wait on hold for like 4 minutes. This isn't going to work for me. You think they're going to say stuff like that? No, right? You won't hear from them at all. They'll be going on their way. You'll look in your back office, your virtual office, you'll be like, wow, they signed up another 3 people. They signed up 5 people. Like, you sure you don't need some help? Okay. And I encourage you to let them do their thing. And here's the thing, is that at some point, if you decide to stop working, are these people going to stop working? No. They're going to create success with or without you. That is the key element of being able to create residual income. Again, if you always have to be motivating people and lifting people up, and that's where you're spending all your time, and if they're not doing so, hey, you go out and put your focus more on this caliber of person, and you'll see your life will change dramatically. And you'll be a lot happier because you're going to be talking to positive people, right? People who've created success. For the most part, they're going to be looking at ways to be successful, not excuses on how on how to fail, right? Okay. Let's talk about the next type of person. These are the people that are hungry. And how do we find out if someone's hungry? Well, we are first and foremost a good listener. One of the most key elements of success here is to be a good listener. As they say, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and we should use them proportionately, right? And I would venture to say, use them even out of proportion, as if you had 3 or 4 ears, right? Listen to people first. And again, you may determine this is someone who's totally happy and enjoying life. Maybe they don't need an opportunity, and that's okay too. Okay, don't have the agenda of you're trying to manipulate or just close somebody. That never works out well. Okay, what you'll end up having is someone who is going to maybe be resentful, and you want someone when they come aboard with you to be really excited, really fired up, because you showed them, that you cared about them, and that this was something that truly was something of benefit to them. As the saying goes here, I think it was Brian Tracy said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The late, great Stephen Covey, the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he said to seek first to understand and then to be understood. Seek first to understand and then to be understood. Another great saying that just went right through over my head is to be more interested. Don't try to be interesting, be more interested, right? So many of us, we feel like, we've got to impress this person by telling them all about how much we know. For a lot of folks, and I went through that process, right? We're taught, go to school and get all this information in your head, and then we go out and we do a brain dump on someone, and they don't really care, just like it says here, how much you know, until they know first how much you care about them. So rather than the more someone else speaks, okay, the greater level of success you'll create. And be a good listener. So it's not just about, again, this is not a technique, guys. This is not something manipulative. This is something where when they speak, be paying very close attention, be engaging, and have some genuinely true interest in that person, and you'll see your results change dramatically. Now, in the conversation that you're going to have, here are a few things. There's 4 questions that I like to be able to know about someone to find out, again, if they're even a prospect, and if they're not, they're not. But I find the majority of people, over 90% of people out there, when I learn these 4 things, that they will be a great prospect. So the first thing I like to know, is if someone likes or loves what they do for a living. Now, here in the United States, I can see we've got some folks connecting from out of the country, but here in the United States, 70% of people do not like what they do, and that's according to a Gallup poll study, very respected survey organization. 70%, so 7 out of 10 people already know, answered no to this question, right? They don't wake up before their alarm goes off, all excited, yeah, I can't wait to get to work today, okay? 7 out of 10 people are like, oh, I gotta go to work, I gotta go sit in traffic, I gotta go listen to my boss, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? That's more of what their attitude. So if I ask someone what they do, oh, I work for UPS down the street. Oh, wow, awesome. How do you like that? Is that pretty cool? Let them tell you. That's all you're doing. Just ask a question, and then it's a very legitimate question, right? Whether or not you were going to be talking about ASEA or not, you would ask this question anyway. Oh, yeah, how is that? What do you do? Is that pretty cool? Cool. Okay. No, I hate it. I hate my boss. Whatever. Okay. The next question is, I like to know if they earn enough income, if they feel that they earn enough income. Now, it's hard to ask someone specifically how much they make, right? That's kind of personal, and a lot of people, don't feel comfortable saying that. But you can make this statement. You may want to write this down, okay? Again, because if you're having a good conversation with someone, what I would say is, wow, they must pay you a fortune to do that, right? Now think about it. Whether they don't like what they do or whether they love what they do, that's still a valid statement. Oh, they must pay you a fortune to do that, right? Why would you do something you don't like unless they're paying you a lot of money, right? Or if you love what you do, wow, they must pay you a fortune. So let me give you an example of that. Let's say you can run into someone who's a school teacher. Most school teachers do like what they do. They love kids, they got involved, but they also, most of them don't make a lot of money. Okay, so when they start telling me, oh yeah, I love it. I love these kids. It's just so bright. Children just give me this energy, and I really love being impactful and knowing that I've made a difference, in their life as they're growing up. If you say, wow, I must pay you a fortune to do that, I'll be like, oh yeah, right. I guess you don't know, right? Teachers we don't make hardly any money. I wish. And I always respond and go into, wow, that's really sad, for the impact you have on our society, that you don't, you're not really, you should be a multimillionaire, right? So you just be engaging and have a good, warm conversation with someone, right? This is all valid stuff. But in the back of your mind, realize that, hey, this person might be a potential prospect because of the opportunity that ASEA presents. Okay. Then I ask, so, what do you like to do? I would ask someone, what do you like to do for fun? Some people say, I just love to play with my kids. Go to my kids' athletic games, baseball, soccer, whatever. Some people will say, I love to play golf, or I love to water ski, I love to snowboard, I love to surf, whatever it is. And then I like to interject and say, wow, you do that a lot? What do you think the answer is most of the time nowadays? They'll say things like, yeah, right. A lot of people will be like, I haven't did that in years. I wish my golf clubs have cobwebs on them. Okay, I get that a lot. So again, our days are getting longer, and I find it fascinating, personally myself, to see all this amazing technology that we have to make us more efficient, yet people are working longer and longer hours. Isn't that kind of crazy? Okay, because people are asking them to do more and more. Their employers are asking more and more of them, and they're threatening them with hiring someone younger who will work for less money. So again, a lot of people are not happy, not only with what they do, but the fact that they don't own their life. They don't have enough free time. And then finally, the fourth question I like to ask is someone is I would say something like, wow, so you're going to be able to retire soon, or how much longer do you have to do that? So once again, if you're taking notes, say like, wow, so you're going to be able to retire soon, or how much longer are you going to have to do that before you can just stop working and play more golf, right? Or whatever they share with me. Now at this stage of the game, okay, I think you can kind of get a sense here that most people are going to say no to at least one of these four, and even if they just say no to one of them, I would ask if they would be open to other options of generating income. Would you? And After they've told you all this about how unhappy they are with their current life and lifestyle, what do you think the answer and the response is the majority of the time? It's, what are you talking about? Or what is it? Or, yeah, what do I got to do? Okay? So they're in the right mindset here. Now notice these questions. Did I ask them how sick they are? Did I ask them, do they know someone with cancer? I mean, because I'm telling you, I see a lot of people out there who are not building a successful business because their focus is more on someone's health situation and how they can benefit from just taking a SIA or the product itself. Okay? And I'm telling you, if you're looking to build a successful business, this is the mindset I want someone to be in, because the reality is that the reality is that if they're in this mindset and I show them how to create a distribution network, they could sell toothpaste, okay, and become successful. Well, how do you think these other companies? There's over 3,000 network marketing companies in the world, and those are the ones that are just tracked, right, and report incomes, and report revenues. And most of them just sell Me Too products, like stuff you could buy in the store. How are people able to create success with those? If you think that creating success is dependent on our amazing, unique product and technology, you'd be totally incorrect. This industry pays $200 million per day in commissions out there. $200 million per day in commissions. And the bulk of them go to companies and distributors of products that have nowhere near the uniqueness of a SIA or Renew 28 for that matter. Okay? Don't have the patent protection and all these other wonderful things that we have. So do not think that your success should be focused or centralized around that fact. Okay? Get the right person in the right frame of mind and they will run. And they will, of course, get all the wonderful benefits of a SIA, but in effect, they will be able to help 10, 100 times more people with this focus than if they're just trying to convince someone to drink the product or wear the product one at a time. Okay? So again, we're talking about, are you a business builder or are you a door-to-door salesman? I'm going to encourage you to start to shift and think more like a business builder to create that duplication and solid, stable business distribution network. Okay, so at the stage of when they say, yes, I'm interested now, what do I need to do? At that point, or if they say, what is it? Just at that point, be busy. Okay, say, hey, Jim, I've got some more appointments coming up, but let me get your email address and I will shoot you over just a little 3-minute video clip, okay, to see if this is something you might be qualified for. You may want to make a note of that as well. I'm going to send you a little 3-minute video clip to see if this is something you might be qualified for. So what are they thinking? Wow, I mean, hopefully, if it's the right person, they're like, I can't wait to get that video clip. It's only 3 minutes. I'm going to watch it and I'm going to see something. I hope I'm qualified for this. Right? So that's the mindset that you want to have them in. Not, oh, he's going to send me one of those or this or that. Again, if you've had the conversation with them, they should be interested because you've listened to them and they have a feeling like, hey, this guy really cares about me and this is something he feels that I might be able to do. I can't wait to get that, right? And of course, the key thing here is set up the follow-up day and time. Get a specific day and time. I like to do it as quickly as possible. So say, are you going to be busy in about 3 hours from now? Because I'll have an opening, and I'll call you back, to go over. Now, again, it's 3 minutes. Will you be able to watch a 3-minute clip, within the next 3 hours? Some people do it within let me send it now, and I've got a couple things, and I'll follow up with you in an hour. Right? So again, you could do it even faster, which could be even more effective. Right? But the key thing is set the follow-up time, and more importantly, call them at the time you say. Right? That's a very, very big thing. People will not take you seriously if you don't do what you say. And I will tell you, like we say, the fortune is in the follow-up. It sounds cheesy, but it is absolutely accurate. And when people aren't calling and following up with people and they're wondering why they're not succeeding, that's one of the first places I look. Okay? Now you can actually see if someone watches your video in your back office there on 3minutepeak.com. You actually can see how long they watched your video for. Okay. Now I want to give you a little bit of education here and tell you that don't call someone and say, hey, I noticed you only watched 1 minute and 37 seconds of the video. What's the matter with you? Okay, that's not why that feature is there. Okay, to harass people. No. When you follow up, I would word it maybe something like this: hey, Jim, this is Paul. I'm just calling you, following up, back up with you. And I noticed that you gotten about a minute or so, 2 minutes into the video, and maybe it got stuck. You weren't able to watch the rest of it. Is everything okay? Did the video, have some errors or something? That's kind of what you would say. Just you're expressing concern, and you're there to provide support and make sure everything's okay. And it's kind of cool because they may say, "Oh, how'd you know that?" You're like, well, that's part of our marketing platform, and this is a tool and a resource that you'll have at your disposal as well if you decide to build a business. So it's really powerful, for you to get to know if this is going to be a fit for whoever you're talking to. So again, just keep that in mind, that's available to you. Now, if they come back and say, oh, that's exciting, now they'll also be able to watch the more expanded 12-minute opportunity video, wherever track or path you sent them down, and they may be ready to go. But you'll know too if they watched it, if they clicked through, got more information, clicked on, and watching that expanded video. And if they did, and you call them, they say, yeah, this is great. How do I get started? Then just send them the Start Right video clip. Okay, it's about 5 minutes in length. Now, currently, because of the new platform that's being developed, we didn't have the Renew 28 mechanisms, but you can explain that as well. If they're really more excited about Renew 28, you can let them know, hey, they can choose a package. You can choose a package that has some Renew 28, some ASEA as well, if you want a mixture thereof. Okay, but the Start Right will give them the basic overview on the options and the concept of being able to save money at the 4 case or the 8 case level. Now, if they're not ready or they start having questions, jot those questions down and just say, hey, that's a great question. Let me get an expert here, and one of my mentors or business partners, someone who's helping me on all these steps of the way. Let me get them on the phone, and I'd love to introduce you because you'll have access to them as well if you decide to start a business, and then they can answer that. Okay, get the 3-way involved and the upline involved. That really gives people that third-party validation, if you will, to say, look, this is not something I'm going to be alone in, or if my friend who tends to be flaky, if they quit, I still will have someone and an expert that I can call on to help me. Okay, a lot of people, that's a very, very big thing. So once you do that, don't ever underestimate the power of the 3-way phone call. Okay, and you may want to write this down. It is your circle of influence and credibility with your contacts, and it is your upline's knowledge and level of success that gives people the warm and fuzzy feeling to want to get started. Okay, it's your credibility and influence with others. It's your upline's knowledge and track record of success that will really help to seal the deal, if you will, to let them know that yes, they're going to make the right decision and that they're going to definitely want to be a part of this. All right. And again, it's not, some people will fear that, oh, they're going to pressure my friend, or they're going to make me look bad or feel uncomfortable. Absolutely not. We don't do that. I don't know any group out there that would have, has communicated that experience. We just communicate, the information and the highlights and the benefits, and we let them make their decision, because we know that even if it's not a right timing for them right now, that they may enroll at some and engage at some point down the road. Okay, so because, as I mentioned, because the new platform is being developed, the decision was made not to produce a whole 3-minute peak track regarding Renew 28. However, we do have sort of a band-aid fix, if you will, and the ability to send Renew 28 information through the library tab of 3-minute peak. So if you go back there, you can click on library, select new library beta, and as a part of that, what you could do is search here. There's a search box. You can type in Renew, and it would filter out everything that has Renew in it. And if you hold your mouse pointer over one of these objects, for example, one of these videos here, Renew 28-Paul, you could click on Add to Send Queue, and let's say I wanted to select this brochure down. Add to Send Queue. Okay, and then this brochure down here, I click on Add to Send Queue there, and it adds it to this little holding area, if you will. Okay, so if I go back up and I click on Show Send Queue, it will put together this nice little email communication with the items that I selected. Okay, the video as well as the brochure, which they would be able to download. All right, the video will come in full in the main body, and they'll be able to play it, and then any other resources you selected would be here on the side. Now, it says who should receive it, so you type in the person's name. They'd be in your Recruit tab in your Prospect Manager. And then you can type in the subject here, for example, from Paul Tyra, the info I promised to send. And what do you want to say? Dear Jim, here's the info on Renew 28. I look forward to connecting with you at 5 p.m. today, right, whatever time you had specified, to go over. Best, Paul. Now down here, okay, I'm going to encourage you to click on yes, where it says, would you like to show your contact info to recipients? Click on yes, and then it will slide the lever over here, and then click on send, and boom, it will go out. Now here's what the prospect receives. Okay, this is the email. Notice it says, okay, the subject from Paul Tyra, the info I promised to send, and then in the body where you typed, Dear Jim, here's the info on Renew 28. I look forward to connecting with you at 5 p.m. today to go over, right? Best, Paul. And then it says click here to watch video. So when they click there, boom, they will have a beautiful presented cinema with the video selected, with the brochure there, you see here on the right, that they can download. And because you selected to show them your contact information, your contact info down here. Okay. Now, this is the example of all of the history tracking. So from the time you send out a video, it automatically makes entries. It says you sent the brochure, usage guide, video, whatever you send a particular prospect. This is a different prospect, by the way. Okay, and I chose this particular prospect because this is an actual real prospect. And then you could see when I sent and what I sent to this person. And then if I scrolled up, you can actually see that they opened it at a specific time, and it will tell you how long they watched it for. They watched 99.94% of the Renew 28 video. So in essence, they watched the whole thing. Okay, and you know exactly when they did that. All right, so that's an example. You just go into their contact record and look down in the notes section, and you'll see you could actually add notes yourself. You could maybe you want to make a note that, oh, I spoke with them, and hey, you know, his birthday's coming up next week or whatever. It will track all those notes for you as well. Okay. So what would you send, or what sequence of things do we recommend? Okay. Here we're seeing these number 1 circled. So I did like a little it's only like actually a minute and 15-second little overview on Renew 28. Sort of shows some before and afters and kind of gives them an explanation on how Renew 28 is different. So I'd send them that video clip first as an initial contact, and then down here there's a Renew 28 brochure. So they've got something printed they can print out or view on screen, as well as a live video that will kind of give them some motion graphics to explain the power of Renew 28. Now, if they want more info, or say, you know, I'd like to get a little bit more details, then secondly, I would send them another communication then with Renew 28, the corporate video, okay, and then the Renew 28 usage guide, so they know exactly how to apply the product. All right. And then finally, if they want to see more stories or hear more experiences, this Renew 28 video clip here that's in the library that was produced by some associates. It's about 8 minutes long, but it has a lot of great before and afters and a great narration. So again, these are the sequence of communication at that point. And if they're still looking for more info, again, at that point, do the 3-way phone call, get your upline involved to help make them feel more comfortable. All right. Now there will be times when you can't be busy, right? Let's say you're on an airplane flight and it's a 5-hour airplane flight, and someone next to you is like, well, what is it? And they go, we got a whole plane flight. Can't you just explain it to me right now? Okay, something like that. That's what's going to come up. So I've got a couple of sites, and I encourage you to write these down: renewoverview.com and then reactivebalance.com. And renewoverview.com, that's the same video clip that the 1 minute 15-second overview clip that I have there in 3 Minute Peak. But so that'll give you like a little more of a concise way to explain, the differences and the fact that, there's non-toxic and non-comedogenic, nothing, it's native to the body, etc. And then reactive balance there will help you explain the concept of ASEA and molecules. I use an example of cell phone towers, because most people have a cell phone today and understand that when they go to an area that doesn't have a lot of cell phone towers, that they start to lose their signal and communications and get frustrated. Okay, so, and by the way, I do that analogy every Thursday night on our business opportunity overview webinar, and you can register for that at thursdayhangout.com. Once again, thursdayhangout.com will allow you to register for the Thursday evening business opportunity webinar, and you can hear me explain that as well there. Okay, now let's get into some meat and potatoes about achieving your goals. It's about consistency over time. Okay, now first example I like to tell people, and guys, I want you to start thinking like a leader, because when you should be thinking from a perspective of, this is what you need to be communicating to your team members. Okay, and what I've always done is my goal is to eliminate excuses for someone to fail. That's my goal. I find that when I eliminate all the excuses, then the only excuse they have for not succeeding is because they quit. And a real winner and someone who's going to be able to create success is not a quitter. And they would not want to be viewed upon as being a quitter. Hope that makes sense to you out there, to everyone here out there. Okay, so let me give you an example. When I talk to people, I say, look, is it realistic to talk to 2 people a day? I know you've got a busy schedule, but can you just talk to 2 people a day? Because if you can't do that, entrepreneurialism in general is probably not for you, right? I mean, we're in the business of building a business. You have to be reaching out, meeting, and connecting with people. That's what we do. So if you can't do that, you probably shouldn't be doing this business, right? But pretty much everyone says yes. That's a very reasonable request. 2 people a day. So, and again, we're not talking about for the rest of your life. I just want to give you what happened in just a 1-year period of time if you just made that simple goal commitment. 2 people a day is 60 people per month, which over the course of 1 year would have meant you would have talked to 720 people. You're going to create success. And I tell people, I don't know anyone who's came up to me with a list of 720 names and was not completely happy and excited with what was going on in their organization. Okay? The bottom line is just people don't do it. It's just like working out, right? Being physically fit. It's not a mystery to go to the gym and to eat better, right? To work out, run, whatever type of physical activity. People just don't do it. And I tell people, hey, even if you just walked around a block or half a mile or something each day, you're going to be healthier. You're going to be in a healthier state 6 months from now. If you just make that a daily commitment, you're going to see your body's going to be leaner. You're going to be happier. It's no mystery, okay? Like Eric Worre says, he says, everyone can, but few will. Everyone can, but few will. And the great thing is you have, and everyone has the decision to make, or the ability rather, to make that decision to actually do this. Now, if we increase this activity by just adding 1 more person each day, 3 people per day, that would mean you would have spoken to over 1,000 people in 1 year. Okay, can you imagine that? 1,000 people. Now let's look at some of the percentages. So if I just went back to 2 people a day, if just 5%, if only 5 out of 100 ended up enrolling, I would have enrolled 36 people over the course of a year. Now think about that. How many of you can imagine enrolling 36 people? A lot of people say, wow, that's just a lot. But if you break it down and just by talking to 2 people a day, and what do I mean by talking to 2 people a day? Having that conversation that we talked about earlier. Hey, how are you doing, Jim? What do you do around here? Oh, you work at the shipping company. Okay, great. How do you like that? That's it. Having this conversation with 2 people a day, the right conversation. Over the course of a year, believe me, you're going to get people that are saying, what do you do? How do I do that? What do I need to do? And that's going to excite you. When you find the right person, you're going to get super motivated. Okay, and you'll probably start saying, I want to talk to 3 people a day now. I want to talk to 5 people a day now. Okay, but the bottom line is you got to go through the ropes. You've got to get better at your communication skills. It's a process. It may take you a little bit longer before you start getting that kind of a response. Okay, but the only way to do it is you got to get started. Now people using our 3-minute peak videos clips, what we're seeing is conversion rates as high as 24%. Okay, we've got people out there who are averaging 1 out of 4 enrollments when they're sending them the right videos, when they're following up with them and going through the process. And that would mean that you would have had 172 enrollments over the course of 1 year. Now it's really interesting. If you've been to any of these industry-wide type conferences, when they have people on stage that have earned, over 6 figures a month type commissions, that's over $100,000 a month. Some people have made 200, 300, 400,000. You're going to see about the average number of personal enrollments that they've had was around 150 personal enrollments. Okay, and again, that I definitely would not guarantee would happen. Okay, if you enrolled 172 people here, okay, not knowing the type of people that you're focused on, but I would say it would have a very high success potential. And even if this took you 2 years, 3 years, 5 years to do, would it have been worth your time? And let's just say you were only, earning $20,000 a month, or $30,000 a month, or $50,000 a month. Would it have still been worth your time? And I would venture to say the answer is yes for 99% of people on this call. Okay, so let's take a look at what if we crank up our activity to just 5 people a day. Now again, I've had people who've made a goal of 20 people a day. Okay, and actually, when I'm thinking of top of my head, she hit triple diamond within a year. Okay, so again, however fast you want to get your results, increase your activity. Now, here's a word of warning though. Here's a word of warning. Do not make the activity level so high where it's not realistic. Okay, so for a lot of people, for most people, and especially if you do have, a income stream that you need to rely on while you're transitioning into this business, then do not set a goal of 20, because you're just going to get disappointed. You're going to feel rejected, and people are going to feel like, they're going to feel that, and you're not going to get good results. So make it realistic. But I've had people say, well, Paul, what if I just want to work 5 days a week? I said, well, how about let's increase activity to 5 people a day then. So 5 people a day, only 5 days a week. You take the weekends off. That's 1,200 people in 1 year. At a 5% conversion rate, that would be 60 people. 24% is 288 people. So somewhere between 60 to 288 people you would have enrolled over the course of 1 year. And again, like I said, I've never had someone come up to me with a spreadsheet of not even 1,200 names, but even 500 names. Usually people come up to me, and when I say, well, let me see your list of folks and the number of people you've been contacting, because they'll say, oh, I've been doing this business for 6 months, and I'm not making what I think I should be making. Let me see your list. Most of the time, I'm lucky to see a list of 20 or 30 people. Okay, and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. If you were doing 2 people a day, okay, each month would have been 60, and if we're 6 months into this, you should have 360 people. I should see a list, not 30 people. Okay, so you really put things into perspective and go back to that initial agreement and commitment that they made, whether it was 2, 3, or 5 a day. Hold them to that. Again, that's what will get them the results that they're looking for. Very simple, guys. This is the meat and foundational fundamental principle why most people don't succeed, not just financially, but in, like I said, health-wise as well. They don't do things for a long enough period of time. Albert Gray said, the secret of success of every person who has ever been successful simply lies in the fact that they form the habit of doing things others don't like to do. Our mantra here at Team Reactive is this: today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can have what others don't. If you keep doing what everyone else is doing, you're going to keep getting what everyone else is getting. Okay? You need to be willing to do what other people won't be willing to do, to be able to take rejection, to be able to maybe not be popular for a period of time, right? While you're doing this, to keep your focus, and later down the road, everyone's going to look at you and go, wow, you must be lucky. They're going to look at you like, Nope, I just did things that you weren't willing to do or you made fun of me about and everything. Use that as a positive motivation for you to get you to stay consistent and achieve your goals. One of my favorite quotes of all time: I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. This was stated by one of the greatest basketball players of all time, the great Michael Jordan. I don't think anybody would, think of Michael Jordan, think of how many thousands of shots that he's missed and all these game-winning opportunities that he failed on, right? They just look at him as like one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Let me give you another example of this, a more recent example. We're seeing on screen is Kobe Bryant breaks the NBA record for missed shots. This just happened a few months back. It says here, Kobe Bryant has missed more shots in the regular season than any other player in NBA history. Okay, the Celtics legend John Havlicek, he had 13,147, and Bryant eclipsed that because he missed more shots in 18 fewer games. Okay, by hitting 13,418. Now, here's what I want to illustrate. Literally, just about 2 to 3 weeks later, look at this headline: Lakers Kobe Bryant passes Michael Jordan on NBA's all-time scoring list. And I just shared with you the fact that Michael Jordan is known to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time, not just because of numbers of points scored, but all his other, exceptional qualities and statistics. But Kobe Bryant now is in number 2, or number 3 spot rather, in the all-time scoring list. Amazing, right? The guy missed the most shots and he's made the most shots. What does that tell you? It tells you when you're out there and you're talking to 2, 3, 5 a day, that hey, yes, you're going to get a huge amount of rejection. The more no's that you get, guess what? The more yeses you're getting as well in the process. And even a professional baseball player, if they hit the ball 1 out of 3 times, okay, they are in the top, literally top 5% in the Major League Baseball, making about $10 million a year. But they fail far more times than even 1 out of 4 times is phenomenal. So don't think like everyone has to sign up. Have that in your head. The more no's you get, the more wealthier you're getting. Okay? Because in the process of getting all these no's, you're going to be getting yeses. And there's actually a book you may want to make a note of called Go for No's. Go for no's. When you start thinking about it like that, then it becomes like it's okay when people tell you no, because that just means you're getting closer and closer to success. All right, let's talk about the ASEAStore.com, where you can get some great printed materials like brochures, DVDs, CDs, magazines, tear-off pads, newspapers, banners, business cards. You can go to custom print there and type in your information, and you can get some beautifully printed business cards. And if you want, even on the back of the card, you can select some graphics as well. Now notice there's a banner there. It says like us on Facebook and receive 15% off of your order. Take advantage of that. And if you've already taken advantage of it, you can only use it once. Then go ahead and text ASEA to 37546, as it says on the right side of your screen there, and you'll get 10% off your next order. Okay, that's kind of why I put this here, screen captured this, so you can take advantage of getting a discount. IamASEA.com. IamASEA.com has great testimonials of people who have created success here. These folks are qualified for a Caribbean cruise, and there's almost 50 people here, and you can hear all different walks of life, people from all different backgrounds. On screen now are Team Reactive Zone, Dr. Foster and Terry Malmed, inaugural winners of the Business Builder of the Year Award, and you can hear their story. But again, there's so many people. If you run into someone who says, man, I'm just a construction worker, how can I be successful with something here in this science home business type environment? You can say, well, look, let's pull up this person here, okay? And you can say, okay, well, yeah, they were in construction, and here's how they were able to create success with ASEA. So if they can do it, you can do it. It's called what we call social proof. Okay, so get familiar with these stories on I Am ASEA, and it's great to share with someone who's already done it. ASEAImpact.com has profiles of top-level leaders, the Diamonds, the Advisory Council, things like that. You can see profile videos there, etc. Also, promotional video clips and I mean promotions and incentives going on as well. So, and great links to the athlete page, all that good stuff. So I'm sorry, ASEAImpact.com. Be sure to check that out. The social media sites like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, these are all the different usernames. Be sure to jot these down here, the actual usernames, so that you can get updates and live information feeds. Some great videos. There's a great video posted last week on the winners of the Do You Renew Beauty Makeover for a Day contest there. So, excuse me, if you go to ASEA Video on the YouTube site, you'll see that you can watch that great experience that the winners had there for the day, the shopping and all the good stuff. And then, of course, posts like the Twitter account. There's been some great little blurbs of information, and when there's a news press or a press release that goes out, you'll get a link to that as well. Some great before and after shots, things like that. So again, stay connected directly to ASEA Corporate through these social media sites. Auto ship. This is your only ASEA business expense, okay? And this is the circulatory system of your business. It's going to ensure that you have enough product on hand for yourself, so that you're a product of the product. It's also going to ensure you remain active, so that you carry over volume. We'll talk more about what that means in the compensation section. And then as part of the duplication model, people are going to do what you do, not what you say. Okay, or more accurately, people won't do something that you're not doing. Right? If they're going to sign up and they ask about what's this auto ship thing, which auto ship are you on? And you say, well, I'm not on auto ship, but you need to be on auto ship. What do you think they're going to say? Well, if you're not doing it, why would I do it? Right? And then they're going to start to have some doubt, and why is that, and blah blah blah. So make sure you're on auto ship, so you can honestly tell someone, yes, I'm on auto ship. I do a case, and I actually get a little tube of Renew as well. Okay, this is what is going to create that duplication, and the more people you help to get an auto ship duplicate, that strengthens your residual income as well. Now, you can take advantage of the free case. So another great incentive for people to sign up immediately on auto ship. Let them know that, hey, they can cancel it at any time. Okay, there's no like long-term commitment or anything. But if they do end up staying on it for 3 months, then ASEA will ship them a free case of product after the 3rd month. So they just have to call in and request it. They will have to pay for shipping and tax, but they will get the case itself for free. So take advantage of that. It's extended till April 30th, but they'll probably continue it, or they're looking at other rewards programs to potentially release here at convention. If you're not on auto ship, here's how you go ahead and get started on it. So go to your virtual office and type in your username and password so that you log in. Okay, then you go up here to My Business, and you click on Manage Auto Ship, and that will take you to the auto ship section. All right, and then here you're going to say Create an Auto Ship Order, and get at least 1 full case of product, 1 full case of bottles, pouches, or 4 tubes of Renew 28, and that will make sure that you're active and meet the personal active requirements. If you're getting close to bronze executive, you need to make sure you have at least 2 cases. Okay, so for bronze all the way through triple diamond, the maximum amount would be 2 cases. And if you have a significant other, you're probably getting 2 cases anyways, right, of product. Okay, Team Reactive, this is a resource site for you that we keep recordings of conference calls, testimonials, calendar events, etc., training videos. And the most key thing, though, is to click here on Stay Informed, where it says subscribe, and be part of our mailing list. That way we remind you about calls and trainings like the one you're on right now, and our daily calls, as well as upcoming events, etc. So, and most importantly, make sure your team, all of your team members are subscribed, so that they get these reminders and stay plugged in as well. This is our conference line. So all Team Reactive calls, this is the number you just dialed in on. We'll go through this conference bridge. And here's a sort of a summary of our calls. On Monday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, is our Leadership in Momentum call. Again, this is not daylight savings anymore. It's 9 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, 9 a.m. is Leadership in Momentum. That's probably the most important call of the week because it allows you to hear from all of our top diamond leadership on what's going to happen for the week, and then we get a great closing lesson by one of the diamonds as well there, and it gives you a calendar of events, etc. Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific time is the TRM call. TRM stands for Team Reactive Momentum, as well as to train, recruit, and manage. So Tuesday is training day, Wednesday is recruit day, and Thursday is manage day, business management day. And each day is hosted by a different diamond leader. 6 p.m. on Tuesdays is the vision call. Again, this is all the specific time. The vision call does have a different phone number, so you won't be using this number you see on the right. You can get that information at visioncall.info, visioncall.info, and you can tune into that. The focus of this call is with medical professionals. Okay, so they're generally doctors that come on to provide you additional validation of the technology and science behind ASEA and Renew 28. Now Wednesday, 8 a.m. is our TRM call, which Wednesday is recruit day, so you get a great lesson there on how to recruiting education. And at 6 o'clock p.m. we have the Connection Hangout. Now we generally will post a banner at the beginning of the week at connectionhangout.com. It's a Facebook event banner. We encourage you to click on join when it's posted. Last week we had a regional director of sales, Mike Mallory, great hangout. And then you go directly to Connection on Air to watch the video at 6 o'clock p.m. So Connection on Air is the actual site address where the video streams from. But Connection Hangout, we like people to go there so they click on join and become part of the community there and get all the information. Thursday, 8 a.m. is our Manage Day call. So on the TRM call, so you learn how to manage your business. 6 o'clock p.m. is the Business Overview webinar. Again, Pacific time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can register at Thursday411.com or Thursdayhangout.com, and you'll be able to register and get kept in the loop each week for that webinar. And that's a great one to send new prospects to because we talk about the science behind the technology as well as the opportunity that it presents. And then, of course, Saturday, this is the webinar you're currently on, which is the Basics webinar, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and you can register at basicswebinar.com. And once again, be on our mailing list so that we keep you plugged in and send you reminders of all the upcoming calls, training opportunities, and events. All right. By the way, everybody, if you have a question at any time, click on the little hand raise icon, and I'll see your hand raise. I'd love to call on you. If you're just calling in on the phone, you can do a *6, and it will unmute your phone line, and we'll be able to hear your question. Okay, fantastic. Looks like we got a question out there with Barbara. Barbara, if you want to do a *6 on your phone, it will unmute your line, and we'll be able to hear your question.
Hi, Paul. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You mentioned that now articles out and that the link is put onto Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter right now. So how do I find the articles?
Well, there was an email communication. Do you get the corporate communication of emails?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
see it.
Yeah, they sent one out. So if I could have you, because I'd have to look and search for it. But it went out. It was on Renew 28. It went out in the San Francisco Gate as well as Los Angeles Times, a CBS News site. They gave links to about 6 different sites. So shoot me an email to Paul, Paul at teamreactive.com, and let me know, and I'll dig that communication up and forward it to you so you have all the links.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay, great use there of the little hand raise icon. So again, if anyone else has a question out there, just click on that little hand raise icon, and I'll be able to call on you. And again, if you're just calling in on the phone line, do a *6 and jump right on in. I don't like to use the chat feature, because I've got to stop what I'm doing and read the question, and it's a little distracting. Okay. So unless my phone line drops, okay, and you're not hearing me anymore, then go ahead and use the typing chat and let me know that. All right, we're in the home stretch here, guys. We're going to talk about compensation. I'm going to focus just on the fast start, AAA bonus, and team commissions, because if you understand these mechanisms, the other 3 commission mechanisms will automatically happen. Okay, so there are 4 different ways, primary categories to get paid with the SIA: the fast start bonus, the AAA bonus, the team bonus, and the check match. Okay, the stability income is on the fast start and AAA bonus side, and the wealth income generation comes from the team bonus and check match. So if we start here on the stability side of things with the fast start bonus, this is your active income. This is the income that you receive whenever you enroll a new associate. All right, so let's take a look here. Now, for every enrollment case, so at the time of enrollment, if someone selects one case of whether it's a SIA or the 4-tube package of Renew 28, $20 will be paid to the enroller per case, okay, as a fast start bonus. Now, the enroller's enroller will get the enroller's enroller would get $10 per case, and then the enroller, did I go one too many? Will get $5, okay? So let me use an example here. I'm going to use the 4-case enrollment package. So again, $20 per case times 4 cases means that the enroller of this associate would get $80. So if this associate's name, for example, was Ann, then what would happen is Ann signs up with 4 cases, you would receive $80. All right? So if Ann goes out and enrolls someone named Jim, then Ann gets the $80, but you get $40. So it's basically half of the amount of whatever the enroller received. Now, if Jim goes out and enrolls Dan, then Jim gets 80, Ann gets 40, and you get 20. So half of the 40, right? So half of 80, 40, half of 40, 20. So it just goes right up the line, and that's the level of depth that gets paid out in Fast Start. Now, what happens if Ann is not active? Okay, so Ann is not on auto ship. She has not personally purchased at least 1 case of product within the last month. She doesn't have any customers, okay, or generating 100 points either worth of volume activity. Okay, then what will happen is when Dan signs up here, Ann does not receive the $40. You would receive the $40. Okay, and the first eligible associate upline from you, in this case it's your sponsor, let's say they were active, they would receive the $20. Okay, and that's why we really encourage you to stay active, to be on auto ship for at least a case of product, so you don't miss out on any bonuses. Not only on people that you personally enroll, but people beneath you who are enrolling. Okay. Now, next, let's talk about AAA bonus. Okay. So AAA requires that first off, for the L1 bonus, which is $100 each month, you have to be on auto ship with a minimum of 100 PV. So once again, that's a case of ASEA, whether it's bottles or pouches, or at least the 4 tubes package of Renew 28. So if you're just getting a 2-bottle package of ASEA, that won't do it. If you're just getting 2 tubes of Renew 28, that will only be, that would not be 100 PV. You have 4 personally sponsored associates on auto ship with a minimum of 100 PV, and you have a minimum of 600 auto ship volume on your first level. Now this includes not just associates on auto ship, but also preferred customers as well. And just kind of as a review, this is how much volume is generated by each type of product package. 1 case of ASEA generates 100 PV. If it's a preferred customer, it's 50 PV. 4 tubes of Renew 28 generates 100 PV, but it's only 50 PV if it's an auto ship. Okay, so here you are. You will have your 100 auto ship. You personally enroll 4 associates, and they all have 1 case of ASEA. So you would, in this example so far, have met your 100 auto ship requirement. You have 4 personals with at least 100 auto ship. Okay, but you're still going to need a little bit more L1 volume, because this is only 400 worth of L1 volume. So let's say this person added 4 tubes of Renew 28 to their auto ship, as well as this person over here on the end. That would do it. That would make a total of 600 auto ship volume, and you would be L1 qualified. Okay? Now, how do you get to L2? Actually, let me go over a couple of additional examples of L1. Okay. In this case, the 4 people, they all added 1 tube of Renew 28 to their auto ship order. By the way, that's the only way currently you can get 1 tube of Renew 28 individually, is to add it to an auto ship order. In this case, you've met your 100, you've got your 4 personal enrollments, but you're still going to be a little short here on volume. So if you had, let's say, 4 personal customers that were each buying 2 tubes of Renew 28, that would make up the difference to make your 600 of auto ship volumes. That would be another example. Okay. The most highly recommended method, though, is this: is you've got your 4 associates, okay, doing various Renew 28, or whether they're on a CF for at least 100 PV. We recommend, instead of just looking for 4, go out and find a couple more associates at least, and then that way you've got some spares, and not only they're spares, but they're generating that extra volume. So in this case right here, if you enrolled 6 people and they were all on auto ship, this would meet your 100 auto ship requirement, your 4 personals, and you'd have a total of 600 auto ship volume. So don't just shoot for the minimum. Shoot for 8, 10, 20 enrollments, and we know how we do that, right? We do that consistent, 2 a day. 2 a day keeps the job away. Okay, we do that consistency behavior, and we reach our goals. Now the L2 bonus, very simple. You're going to help at least 2 of your 4 people, okay, get to L1. So if you help 2 people reach their L1, you're going to get an additional $250 every month because you're L2 qualified. And so now it's a total of $350 a month. If you add in commissions from the team commissions and other parts of the plan, you're probably at least at $500 a month. Now L3 is just as simple. Help 2 people get to L2 and you're in L3. Okay? And in this case, that'll generate you an additional $400 each month. So that's $750. And if you add the commissions from the other parts of the plan, you're looking at over $1,000. As a matter of fact, I don't know someone who's L3 qualified who's not doing at least $2,000 a month. Okay? Because they're probably at least a bronze as well in this whole process. And again, total commissions probably will be exceeding $2,000, if not closer to $3,000 a month. Okay, so getting beyond $1,000 a month, as Zig Ziglar said, you'll get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. So once again, by helping 2 people get to L1, you're in L2. By helping 2 people get to L2, you're in L3. Okay, and the more L3 thousandaires that you create, the closer you get to becoming an ASEA millionaire. All right, now let's talk about the team bonus. Okay, so as you're personally building out your AAA structure, okay, I'm going to use Dan here as my example. Okay, these people are also being placed into the team commission part of our program as well. Okay, so let's say Dan enrolls Tina. So Tina's frontline in the AAA. She's also frontline here to Dan, as long as someone above Dan didn't put someone beneath him. Then Tina would be under that person, for example. Okay, but Tina also has a spot in the team commission part of the plan. When Dan enrolls Matt, okay, Matt would go on the other side in this example. And then as Dan enrolls more people like Debbie and Teresa, they have to be placed under Tina or Matt somewhere that someone doesn't yet have their 2 people. Okay, this is called our team commission structure is also referred to as a binary compensation mechanism in the industry, and this kind of allows you to create some synergy, allows you to show people this can be done and that they're benefiting as well, so they should really consider getting to work. Okay, and you're gonna override a percentage on that part of the plan as well. So if these 4 people are just on auto ship themselves, then that would mean this would be generating you $20 a month alone just from here. Now, as we know, there has to be 600 PV as well, so that would add even more volume to this. So it should be at least $30 extra a month. And again, that more than pays for your auto ship, or at least will help to pay for your auto ship, and where your product ends up being free every month. Okay, so as Dan helps Tina and Teresa become L1 qualified, for example, they'll generate more volume in the team commission part of the plan, and you'll be earning even more. In this case, you'll add another $60 a month to your earnings from the team commission, and so on and so on. Okay? So if this is you and you become L3 qualified, okay, a good analogy here would be probably at least around 3,000 of volume for the month occurring on your left team and 2,500 on your right. And you get paid 10% on the entire lesser side. So in this case, 10% of 2,500 would be $250. And then since you're paid on the 2,500 and there's 3,000 on the left, that means 500 on the left will continue to carry forward. So even though you didn't get paid on it this particular week, it carries forward once again as long as you're active and you have your at least 100 PV within the last month. Okay, you'll continue to carry forward your volume. Now, if you add up the AAA L3 bonus, the $750, that would mean you'd be here at least at $1,000 a month. You can earn up to $10,000 a week or $40,000 a month here on the team commission part of the plan. Okay, so let's talk about getting to $2,000 a month. If you help 2 people on your left and 2 people on your right earn the L3 bonus, you should be at least at the rank of bronze executive, and that would generate conservatively at least $10,000 of volume a month. So 10% of 10,000 is an additional $1,000 you'd be receiving on team commissions. So when you add that to the L3 bonus as well, you're looking at least $2,000 to $2,500 a month as a bronze. How do you get to over $4,000 a month? Help develop a bronze on your left and on your right. You should have at least 20,000 of volume left and right, which would make you a gold. 10% of 20,000 is 2,000 a month. So that in combination with the other commissions, you should be at least at $4,000 to $5,000 a month at this stage of the game. Okay. Now I do know golds that are earning over and have earned over $10,000 a month. That's not normal, but I would say that $5,000 a month is a conservative figure for someone being a gold executive. You're going to check match on everyone in your group up to 7 generations. Once you reach the rank of bronze executive, you get 1 generation. Silver is 2, etc. When you get to triple diamond, it's 7 generations, and the check match is about 10, I would say more like 10 to 15%. Okay, so whatever everyone in your group is earning, okay, the generations that you qualify for, can you imagine getting 10 to 15% of that amount added to your own earnings? Okay, and that's again based on the portion of their check, the team commission portion of their check. So if you look down here, to give you an example of what a generation is, everyone up to and including the bronze executive or higher, that would be considered to be 1 generation. So if no one else was a bronze here in this example, except for this person right here, then that means all these people, whatever their team commission, wherever they earned in team commissions for the week, 10 to 15% of that would be added to your earnings, in this case Dan's earnings here in this example. Okay, now achieving rank, getting to the top. I'm actually going to stop at the rank of gold executive because that's kind of the heart and soul of the pay plan. If you can get to gold, you can get to diamond. If you can get to diamond, you get to triple diamond. Okay, you'll know what it takes at that stage. So let's talk first about our about volume and what generates volume. Because as I go through the qualifications here, you're going to need to know this. Every time someone gets started with an enrollment package, okay, for example, the basic package is $160. 30 points of volume gets put into the team commission part of the plan. The basic plus, which is 2 cases, puts 60 points in the team commission part of the plan. The builder pack puts 120, and the express builder pack 240. So you got the 1, 2, 4, and 8 case options. Okay, and I'm using strictly here the ASEA options. Now, if you're wondering why is it that when someone spends $410, only 120 gets put into the plan, Well, this is only the team commission part of the plan. Remember that at the 4-case level, the 410 package, someone got a check for $80, right? $80 fast start check. Someone got a check for $40, and someone got a check for $20. Okay, so all that's paid back to the field. Then remember also that this includes the startup kit, the DVD, brochures, CD, etc., getting started guide, and it also includes your website hosting for the entire year. Which, by the way, I'll give you a shot of that here in a minute. You want to stay tuned to the end of this training because you're going to see your brand new website. It's pretty spectacular. Okay, so it's going to include that hosting for the entire year. So all that comes out as well as a free case of product, right? There's $110 savings. This should be $520 if you were going to put 4 cases plus the $40 enrollment package. But they discount it by $110, so it's almost like buying 3 cases, getting 1 case for free. And at the end of the day, I think it's very generous for the company to put in 120 points of volume into the plan. Now, what about the actual conversion for when just an associate outright just purchases a case of product at wholesale for $120? 100 points go into the plan. Okay? If it's a preferred customer, only 50 points goes into the plan because a $25 personal commission bonus is paid out to the enroller of that customer. And then a half case for $65 only puts 50 points in the plan. And this is why you will not be active, okay, because you need at least 100 points to be active. Let's take a look at the active requirements. Up to the rank of Director 700, you got to have 100 points of volume within the last month. And again, the easiest way to do this is to be on 1 case of auto ship, bottles, pouches, or 4 tubes of Renew 28. Then this will allow you to keep carrying your volume over. Even if you're not getting paid on your volume, it will continue to carry over on both sides of your team structure. The bronze executive, okay, and higher requires 200 PV. That's why I said if you get 2 cases, maybe you get a case of bottles, a case of pouches, and now you can kind of go back and forth. Get maybe 4 tubes of Renew 28 and a case of bottles, etc. And if you do that, we encourage you to do that right out of the gate so that you always have product on hand to demonstrate, to make a retail sale, when necessary. So 200 is the max amount that you'd have to personally purchase, even at the rank of triple diamond executive. Okay, so let's talk about the first rank after joining as an associate. The first rank is called director. It means that you're active and you personally enroll 1 active associate on your left and 1 active associate on your right. So here you are. Oh, click through. And you personally enroll 1 left, 1 right, and they're both active. Congratulations, you're now a director. To become a Director 300 requires that you're not only a director, but that you have at least 300 group volume in your pay team. So that means, again, on the lesser side of your organization, you have at least 300. You're a Director 300. Now, this volume, by the way, will accrue. So let's say you had 1 case of volume activity this week, and then next week you had 2 cases. It doesn't wash out every week because the first paycheck you'll receive is when it's at least at 300. Okay, so you can get 1 case this week, another case next week, week after that, or 2 weeks after that, another case, and boom, you would have hit Director 300. At this point, the company will send you a pin and a certificate to recognize you for your achievement. Director 700 is a director with 700 group volume in the pay team. So it's just more of the same, but you will have to hit this in 1 week. Okay, or if you accrue, you can accrue up to 300 of it, and then do the rest of the 400. Okay, but again, this is all occurring typically in 1 given week, and then the company will send you a new pin, a new certificate to recognize you for this achievement. Okay, bronze executive is a director with 2,000 group volume in the pay team, and then 1 Director 300 down 2 separate legs. And I'll clarify what legs mean here in just a second. There you are. You've got 2,000 on the lesser side of your team structure in a given week. Okay, and then you have 2 Director 300 legs. So every time you personally enroll someone, all right, that person and everybody underneath that person would be considered to be in that leg, if you will. So it's just a terminology or nomenclature. All right. So if you signed up this person here at the top, and let's say they did not become a Director 300, but let's say they signed up this person right here and she did become a Director 300, you could still count that. So you don't have to be the personal enroller of a Director 300. It can be anywhere down the leg. Okay, and that's why we want to familiarize you with that term of leg. Okay, anywhere down the leg. And this really incentivizes you to work deep in your organization and help everyone succeed, because you're still going to be able to count that as a leadership person in that leg. Now, as long as you have another Director 300 in a different leg or a separate leg, okay, then this would meet your bronze qualification of having one Director 300 down two different legs. And to sort of just reinforce this understanding, if you had 50 Director 300s rather, and they were all in the same leg, that would only count as one Director 300 leg. Okay, now let's take a look at silver. Silver is a director with 3,000 group volume in the pay team and one Director 300 down three separate legs. So there you are. You've got 3,000 on your pay team, and if you add the third Director 300 leg, you're now a silver executive. And by the way, even at bronze, silver, you're going to get new pins and new certificates to recognize your achievement. The gold executive is a director with 5,000 group volume in the pay team and four Director 300 legs. So there you are. You got now 5,000 that moves in a single week. You add that fourth Director 300 leg, and congratulations, you are now a gold executive. And you're at the level of gold, remember, you're going to be getting 3 generations of depth on matching checks as well. Bronze 1, silver 2, gold 3. Okay. Now, at this stage, I really would like to see if anyone has any questions. Again, click on the little hand raise button, and I'll be able to call on you. Or if you're just calling in on the phone, do the *6. It will unmute your line, and we'll be able to hear you ask your question. Okay. If not, I'll move here into the closing portion. But first, let's share with you a great quote from Boyd Matheson. True character is the ability to stay focused on your goals long after the mood in which they were created has passed. Very key. Wake up every day with the same level of enthusiasm as you did when you first signed up in ASEA, and you'll start to see your results will change. Just do it consistently. Again, it's all about that consistent behavior of 2, 3, 5 people a day, the consistent behavior of the same level of enthusiasm as when you first signed up. That's what's going to get you to achieve your goals. Now, events and promotions. We've got some great ones coming up, and we're coming toward the closing time frame to qualify for some of them. The Peak Performance Program starts out, your first thing you can qualify for is the ASEA Envision event. And I'll tell you, kind of like Mike Mallory said on our interview last week, this was his second most favorite event of the entire year. And that's quite a statement. And we really didn't know what to expect, until shortly before this event, and we're just super excited. The quality of training. Connie Podesta was here in North America, and I was also fortunate enough to be in Mainz, Germany for the Envision event there, where Dan Clark was at. And so these are global industry people that understand the psyche and how people think and the different personality types, how to communicate with people, and they gave a great education process in that. So the qualifications are right there. You need to be paid at least at the rank of bronze one time. You have until September 4th of this year to hit the rank of bronze, and you'll be eligible to be able to attend the ASEA Envision event. Base camp, you're paid at bronze twice or silver at least once, and you have up to February 6th of this year to be able to qualify for this. This year the base camp is going to be in Phoenix, Arizona, here on the West Coast. I don't think they have an East Coast venue yet, but I look forward to seeing you here. I was just asked yesterday, I think, by Craig Daly to be one of the speakers here, and I will be speaking on compensation. So for those of you attending, I'm looking forward to seeing you, meeting you in person here at the base camp this year. The ASEA Ascent event. So hit gold 6 times or platinum 3 times by July 17th, and you're going to the ASEA Ascent event. Now, Mike Mallory said this was his #1 favorite event of the entire year. And it was at Star Valley at the Trout Ranch, Tyler Norton's Trout Ranch there, but we've kind of outgrown that space. So this year it's going to be at the Broadmoor in Colorado. I would encourage you to be there. You have until July 17th to meet these qualifications. And then, of course, the granddaddy of them all, the Diamond Summit. Get paid at Diamond twice, and you're going. If you get paid at it 4 times, not only includes all your expenses there, but includes the airfare for 2 people as well. This last year was in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica, at the JW Marriott Resort. Absolutely spectacular. We got to do some great activities, and one of my favorite parts of the event as well was being able to contribute back to the local communities there, putting up some signs, as well as a school there, and helping to replace a roof and replace desks that had been over 20 years old. So, and being able to meet all the kids, etc. Really, really great stuff. And a lot of us were able to contribute to that activity as well. So again, you have up until September 4th of this year to qualify for the Diamond Summit. This year is going to be in the beautiful Virgin Islands at St. Thomas at the Ritz-Carlton, okay, in St. Thomas. So get there, shoot for this, guys. As Les Brown would say, he would say shoot for the stars, because even if you fall even if you fall short, you're still going to be out of this world, okay? Cancun qualification. We're by the end of this month. We just have a couple more weeks here. January 23rd. You can qualify. Check your points in your virtual office. You can still hit this, okay? Because 40 points will pay for all of your transportation and everything. But if you have at least 25 points, you can actually pay to, there'll be a limited number of spots available that you can actually pay to be down there and join everyone. And I would encourage you, if you're able to do that, to take advantage of that as well, because you're going to be amongst great leaders and performers. So be sure to check your qualifications, log into your back office, and it will explain how you get all these points. And we'll look forward to seeing you down there at the beautiful Live Aqua Resort and Spa. And then, of course, register for convention. You could go to ASEANSLC.com. Once again, ASEANSLC.com. Register. Don't wait till the last minute. Last year's event sold out. And especially get your hotel room booked. Again, you can always cancel, but I'd hate to say that, but you can, of course. There's a cancellation window policy, but get your hotel room booked so that you have a room there. Those things typically sell out the fastest. I know we're at over half occupancy of our room blocks at the Hilton and the Marriott, so be sure to get your tickets and everything. Get your space here, get your spot, and take advantage of early bird registration now, okay, up until February 2nd. And then Club Vertis. So as you're qualifying and doing all of these things to get to Cancun, you're also accruing points. Okay, if you roll at least 6 people in the window here, you're going to get a pin, a Club Vertis pin. If you roll a 16, you're going to get that pin personally pinned on you by founder Vertis Norton. And then the top 50 will be entered into drawings, and the top 20 will not only be entered in the drawings, but also a private lunch with Vertis Norton himself. And then there's a lot of other gifts and prizes are given away, up to $25,000 total, and the top enroller will receive $10,000 in cash. Okay, so if you can use an extra 10 G's, get to sponsoring, okay, and you can hit that and win all these other wonderful things in the process as well. And who knows, qualify for Cancun and maybe even the Diamond Summit or the Ascent event as well. Okay, Bob Mowat said you can't leave footprints in the sands of time if you're sitting on your butt. And who wants to leave butt prints in the sands of time? Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. And if you do have questions, I encourage you to click on the little hand raise button, and it can be on anything at this stage, even product or technology related questions regarding ASEA or Renew 28. As you know, think about it, this entire training I did not mention anything about the products, right? Or very, very little. I kind of refer to them. But this was not a mitochondrial education or ATP or redox signaling molecules. Hopefully this was helpful for you to be able to focus on the right activity, focus on the right audience and prospects to build a significant network marketing organization. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember, our next call is going to be bright and early Monday morning, 9 o'clock a.m. on the West Coast here, which is noon on the East Coast. It is our Leadership in Momentum call. Be sure to plug into that. Go to teamreactive.com and click on our mailing list, and you'll be reminded of that call and subsequent calls throughout the week. And welcome to 2015. Hope everyone's having a fantastic, happy New Year. Look forward to seeing you at the next upcoming events. Once again, for those of you qualified for Basecamp already, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing those West Coast Basecamp attendees here in a couple of months. And again, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. See you